Hey, good morning. Greg Flanagan here from the great state of Charleston, South Carolina, where this morning it was 37 degrees out there. That is unbelievable in my world. I've been here 26 years. The 2nd of April, it is pretty cold. Bottom line, it's pretty darn cold. I don't know if I got enough light, but it makes me look like I got a good tan, so I'm happy. Um, Today we're going to be talking about the values, seller values. What do sellers need? What is our value to sellers? It's real important, especially right now where the industry is. We need sellers. We need sellers. So we're going to talk about the top 10 seller values as it pertains to finding sellers. You know, I got to say this one thing locally, and I don't know if this is happening, but check your numbers if you're out and about. Locally, we have actually increased our listings by 10% in less than a week. Last week, we had 984 pre-owned homes for sale on a Friday. Every Friday I do this Fridays with Flanagan as a residential thing on my Facebook page. Last Friday, we had 984 units on the market. This Friday, we had 1,104, I believe it was. So that's 120 home difference. That's a pretty big number when you're talking about 10% increase from last week. So pay attention, go back and do your numbers. It's a great conversation and to have with somebody that's looking to list or buy a home. But for listing homes, it's a great conversation to say, hey, you know what? The market is starting to pick up. My conversation with my sellers is our spring market normally starts at the end of January into February, and then by March we got a lot of homes on the market, and then in April we're selling like crazy. May 22nd, everything starts going down. Sales start going down, prices start dropping. We start dropping into a summer market. Well, I think this year we have a late spring, even though it's only April 2nd. Well, I'm going to consider it a late spring. And we're starting to build inventory. Now, this is going to be fantastic for the people that are looking for homes, and it's going to be fantastic for the people that are selling homes. What it's going to do, hopefully, is stop the multiple offers, give us a little bit more opportunities for our sellers and our buyers. So let's jump right into it. Anybody got any questions? Raise your hand. Make sure everybody can hear me. Just drop it in the chat. I'm good with that. It's good to see y'all, and I appreciate it. Happy Good Friday. It's, of course, a blessed weekend this weekend, and I hope you're all going to spend it with family. Stay out of the COVID mess. It's always crazy. So let's jump right in. Let's see if I can get this to work so that it's halfway good. There we go. Bigger picture. Can everybody see that? Give me a 1 if you can see it. Just somebody go, hey, Greg, I can see it. Number 1. That'd be great for me. Okay, top 10 seller values. The first one is a needs analysis. Okay, what is a needs analysis? Hopefully we all know this. It helps clarify the motive reasons to sell, determine the seller's timetable. When we sit down with a seller, one of the first things we want to know is, are you ready? Good morning, Sarah. Are you ready to sell? Okay, what is motivating you to sell? What are some of the things that we have out there that people are motivated to sell? Why are they selling? Anybody, just pop in there. Let's make this interactive today. Motivations to sell. Family situations changed. Death, birth, marriage. You know, you get somebody who's getting married. You got 3 sales there, right? His, hers, and theirs. So these are things that you want to talk about as far as seller values. You want to understand what the motivation is to sell. If there's moving out of state is another one, great. If they're looking to get out, you've got to know why. So what's your timetable on that, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? You've got to find that out. What's their timetable? If they say, like 6 months, would you put the house on the market right now if it was 6 months? I'd probably have a conversation and say, you know what, folks, that's great, but maybe you don't want to put it on the market right now unless you have something that you're moving away to and you're going to rent or you're going to purchase at this time. right? So give them good advice on the way through. The second one is, as soon as I find my clicker here, guys, I'm with you. Here we go, click. The second is pricing strategy. Determine the best selling price strategy given and with because of the market conditions, and show a resulting net sheet. In this market, one of the best selling strategies is what? Full price. I was doing Market Monitor this morning, and 100%, normally the sales price to list price, somewhere in the 98, 97, 90, 98.5%. Right now, for the last 30 days, it's 100%. So you price it right, you're going to get a sale. You're actually going to get multiple offers. Some people use a pricing strategy of, hey, let me go 10,000 over and see if I can't catch a big fish. And when that happens, you might catch a big fish, and you might catch somebody that's willing to pay $10,000, $20,000 above. But when the actual historical appraisal comes back, now you got a $20,000 gap. So that pricing strategy is important. Personally, I like to be very, very conservative with that. We're going to get all the money we can, and we're going to look in that last day before we go on the market. I'm going to take one more look and see what happened over the last 7 days, just to make sure that pricing is right. Now, everybody's got their own pricing strategy. Everybody's got their own opinion, right? And some people will differ. Go, Greg, we're going to swing for the fences, and we're going to take everything we can get. Well, that's up to you, all right? And that's why there's 7,500 agents in my market that all have a different opinion. So determine the best selling price strategy given the current market conditions, and I want to add their current motivation. Again, we go back to this person somebody wants to sell immediately. Well, there's great question, right? So what is your buy right now price, sell right now price? What if I was sitting here and you said, Greg, I don't want anybody in my house. I don't want anybody. What is that price, Mr. Seller? You know what, Greg? You gave me $410 for $370. I'll walk away without anybody walking in my house, without doing a thing, without going through repairs. And you can say, that's fine. Here's my $370. It's a way to do it, right? Anyway, determine the best selling price strategy given current market conditions. Show a resulting net sheet. If you don't know what a net sheet is, email me. Drop me a line, Greg at Power Onward Network Mastermind, whichever one. Just drop me a line, and I will send you the net sheet that I use. The net sheet is pretty much your gross sale, less any concessions to buyers, less the deed stamps or any taxes due the government, less the attorney fees, less the mortgage, and less your fees. Okay, this is the net sheet. You should be able to sit there and confidently push that across to them and say, this is the best estimate. It's only a pro forma. It's only a net sheet. The actual net is going to be shown at the attorney's office or the escrow office. This is only a pro forma. But what it does, it gives them the sense of saying, I can live with that, or question, well, what happens if? And you can work that out. But this is a spreadsheet that you'll be able to use. Number 3, property preparation. Advice on repairs and improvements. Provide staging strategies. Two ways to do this. Advice on repairs and improvements. I have participated in building houses. I've got some specialty, some skill to it. And I can actually walk around and say, that door is going to cost you this, that window is going to cost you that. I would do X, Y, and Z. You listen to enough inspectors, what do they pick apart? You know that they're going to go after the HVAC outside if it doesn't have the foam on it, right? Or you know that if your water heater doesn't have a downpipe. These are simple, inexpensive stuff that they can do themselves, or they can bring in a contractor, a tradesperson, a handyman, and that can get done. Help them. They want this advice. They're looking for this advice. Greg, what do I need to do? Walk around the house with a pad of paper. They don't have to follow you, but you can walk around the house and just scratch down what you know as an agent that number one, the public wants to see, And number two, what the inspectors are going to pick apart. Every inspector's got a little bit of a thing that they'll pick apart. Go in through that house and get it. Okay? Go into that house and figure out what it is. That's going to help them immensely because they've been living there 20 years. They don't see these things. They think everything is great. I tell you a story just last week. I have a set of contractors I use regularly, and I gave them a list. And one of them was a small backsplash just on the wall of this guy's house. Single guy, living by himself, been there 20-something years. You know, it's a guy's house. And it just needed maybe a $150 backsplash just to separate the cabinets from the counter. And he traded that off with the contractor to paint some room upstairs that, really didn't need to be painted. But in his eyes, that room needed to be painted. We lost a little bit of value. So give them the advice. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. Provide staging strategies. I'm not a stager. I have a hard time keeping my truck, the colors in my truck right. Okay? Bring in somebody. How do you do this? Bring in a staging. If you're not a staging person, bring in a stager. Should that stager cost you money? In my book, no. They are a partner. What you're doing is you're allowing that stager into your client's house, and that stager is bringing his or her expertise to market to those people, saying, here's some ideas, and I can help you with the rest for X amount of dollars. As a real estate agent, I know a lot of real estate agents out there do their own staging. God bless. That's great. To me, I'm a real estate agent. I'm not a stager, and I never intend to be. Just like I'm not a carpenter. You're not going to see me over there hammering nails. So if you want to be a real estate stager, that's fine. Go do it. But you can bring somebody in, partner up with another professional, and give them the opportunity to present their product and their ideas to your client. Okay? Any questions on that? And I know we got some great stagers out there. I'm not saying you're not good stagers. I'm just saying I don't do it, and I bring somebody in. Marketing strategy. Develop a marketing plan. Establish a marketing timetable. Very important in no matter what market you're on. We have a very specific one here at Flanagan's, and we follow that every time. House goes on Tuesday, starts showing on Friday. We hold open house Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning at 9 o'clock, all offers have to be on the table and in. During the day Monday, we discuss it with our clients. We analyze it. We put it together. We discuss it with our clients. And then Monday afternoon, we deliver it to the winning agent. Okay? And that's not the person that has the best. That's the person that we're going to negotiate with. Okay? We decide who we're going to negotiate with. Greg, but the best offer came in on day one. Well, that's great. They're going to be there on day 3. Okay? There might be a better offer sitting there on Saturday and Sunday to be decided on Monday. Also, Saturday and Sunday. This is an all real estate conference here. On Saturday and Sunday, if you're holding open houses, you're also developing new leads for your business, right? And what's happening now, I see too many people. What's happening now is they put the house on the market, they sell it tomorrow, and they have no other customers. They're taking away 2/3 of their business because they are not doing the open house on Saturday and Sunday. This is where you're going to gain. One of the best open house people I know is on this right now, Sarah. And when you're not in the neighborhood talking to people, when you have the open house, another whole deal, and you're knocking on doors saying, hey, I have an open house down here, people start seeing you, they want to start talking to you. You're missing a marketing opportunity. So it's good for your seller that it gets full exposure to everybody in the market, right? And you have a timetable. Mine is those 5 days. But it's also good for you because you get a little bit more marketing out of the listing. Everybody agree with that? Well, let me know if you don't. I'm open to conversations after we're done. You receive an offer. The people want to know what my offer is. right? The seller says, well, I think one of the worst things we do is fill out those darn seller surveys after we go see a house. Yeah, there's an offer coming, and then it never shows up because the agent thought he had an offer, but the people went back and discussed and said, nah, we really don't like that house. So evaluate the offers for your clients. They want you to give them good advice. They want you to give them experience. What happens between Tuesday and Friday? It sits there and percolates, Sarah. It sits there and percolates. People get to see it. People see it on the market, and it turns out on Friday they can go see it with their agent, or they can come see you on Saturday or Sunday. So it just goes on the market. It is allowed to stay on the market. Let me go back to evaluate offers. They want us to take apart that offer. They want us to use our experience to say, you know what, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense, or this part of the puzzle, this part of the offer isn't involved. And that's usually from the financing side. What does your finance look like? For me personally, I evaluate offers. I call the letter. I call the guy on the sheet, and I say, have you seen their income statements? Have you seen their employment statements? Have you looked at their bank account? Have you checked to make sure they have the money for the down payment? Where's that money coming from? Because we all know if it's a gift, we got it. There's all different things that we have to go through, so that we sit down with our sellers and we go, look, this is $50,000 over asking price. Sure, it's a great deal, but his financing is awful weak. We're not sure about this. We're not sure about this. This one's right on point. All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. I would recommend this one. You can go for this one. It's your choice. This is the one I recommend. That's what we get paid the big bucks for, is saying, this is my opinion. Right? Everybody agree with that? This is my opinion. That's what you're getting paid for. So evaluate offers, number 5. Number 6, negotiating to sell. Negotiate counteroffers. Advice on final terms and conditions. Everybody, one of the better classes out there is obviously NAR's negotiation skills. Anybody's negotiation skills. What is the book by the old NYPD guy? Never Split the Difference is a great book if you want negotiation skills and how to negotiate with people, what to say. Negotiate your counteroffers. I think the biggest thing here is that always be open. Use language that keeps your negotiations open. Okay? You are not the person making the decision. I see all too often that agents assume the role of the seller or the buyer. You are not the decision maker. Yours is, again, to analyze and negotiate what you think the offer should be. Hey, this is what we're getting. This is where we are. Bottom line is, and it's always the bottom line, folks, doesn't matter what happens up front. I always tell my folks that it's always the bottom line. Here it is. All the numbers, they change this. They want to do that. They want to raise the price. They want to put in more closing costs. They want to take closing costs out. They want to lower it. At the end of the day, what's that number at the bottom? Right? That's the first part of it. Second part is, what are the terms? They want 10 days they want you out in 10 days. You're going to have to pay me a little bit more money. They want you to hang around for 90 days. Well, you're going to have to pay me a little bit more money. You want me to hold the mortgage for a couple more. Excuse me, I got things to do. So negotiate your counteroffers. Dive in there. They want your expertise to say, I've seen this work before. I haven't seen this work, or I've seen this fail. This is going to cost you money. Whatever that specific nuance of the deal is. I think right now, I'm actually, this just popped in my mind. Right now I'm working a deal with solar panels, right? And they're a hot topic because down here in the South, a lot of people have solar panels. Some people have paid them off, and some people still have a lease on them. If there's still a lease on them, They're not part of the house. They're personal property, right? And I had a couple of years ago, we actually had people take the panels off the roof and take them with them because my buyer didn't want them. So be aware that you're going to negotiate a whole bunch of different things. Look at the entire package and try to put it together. Give them advice on the final terms and conditions. Again, this is what you get paid the big bucks for. It's your experience, your advice. If you don't have the experience, talk to somebody that does. Okay, get on the phone and talk to somebody that does. Real important stuff. This is what you're getting paid the big bucks, and this is what people pay you for, right? You're a professional person going through. You supposedly know what you're doing, or you have the opportunity to get those answers and get that knowledge as you go on. Number 7 on top seller values, prepare post-contract work list, advice on repairs and vendor services. Okay, so this is the repair procedure. Again, thankfully, our contract in South Carolina, Charleston, is very, very specific on what the seller has to pay, what they have to repair. 7 or 8 items, leaky roofs, leaky faucets, electrical conditions, environmental, that kind of thing. We don't deal with appliances. We don't deal with windows. So you don't need a lot of knowledge here. You just need to get the work done. Right? You need to help them get those work done. Greg, do you have a favor contract? I do. Greg, do you have a plumber? I do. Do you have a painter? Yes. Can this be done by a handyman? Yes. So you're helping them prepare the post-contract work list. That is the repair procedure, in a repair procedure or in a due diligence. This is what we want, and let's get it done. You give them the advice on the repairs and the vendor services, and you're good. Get that knowledge, put together a sheet. If you're local, ask somebody if they would share. I know a lot of people get very, very, what do I want to say? A lot of people get very proprietary with their contractors because they don't want them to get too busy, so that there are available for them. So find your own contractors, work with trusted people, work with licensed people. Always have a handyman or two available to change light bulbs and paint, single rooms and that kind of thing. This is what sellers are looking for in agents. Number 8, pre-close preparation. Coordinate and supervise document preparation and provide pre-closing consulting. Nowadays, I think most people have a closing coordinator. If you're doing at least 10, 11 deals, you normally have a closing coordinator who's outsourced. This is their focus. This is their job. Coordinate and supervise document preparation. They deal with the attorneys. They deal with the inspectors. They deal with your clients. You still need to be in there to provide the pre-closing consultation. So outsource the other stuff. If you're not outsourcing yet, make sure you're time blocking sometime during your day, at least an hour or 30 minutes, depending on how many people you have going through closing, to make sure you're talking to these people. One of the biggest reasons why people don't reuse another agent, their original agent, is because they lose contact with them, or they didn't have a good communication with them. If you're using a coordinator, a transaction coordinator, you're pretty much guaranteed that he or she is going to at least once a week update your client with an email or a telephone call that says, hey, this is where we are. And they'll go down through and they'll list off the milestones. If you need a coordinator, drop me a line. Don't give me a call, but drop me a line, and I'll be happy to share some good coordinators with you. And you're always available. You're watching those emails come back and forth. You're just not participating in the emails, which gives you more time to go out and find more listings or handle more buyers. So pre-close preparation, important step. Closing, review the closing documents, resolve last minute issues, complete the transaction. Sorry about that. Reviewing the closing documents. Do not sub this out to anybody. You are the fiduciary. You're the one that ran this whole deal. You should have this deal familiarized with you. You should be very familiar with this deal, and it should be you that reviews your closing documents. You're looking for make sure the purchase price is right, make sure the address is right, make sure the TMS number is right, make sure that the prorates were done correctly, make sure any concessions are on there. This is your job. A lot of people think that the attorneys get it and then they'll follow the contract. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because all they're doing is they're processing. I don't care. I've used many attorneys. A lot of it is just processing paperwork. When you raise something and says, hey, you know what? No, that's not the way the contract reads. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. You know the contract. You know what you negotiated. Make sure you review the closing documents and make sure you review it for the most important thing. And what is that? That's right, your commission. Okay? Make sure all that is right before you go and say, hey, yeah, that's good. Your attorney should be sending it to you and the other agent before they send it to your seller. Okay, resolve last minute items, and that's where we go. Make sure everything is cleaned up. There's no holdovers. Normally, when I close a deal, I like to close the entire deal and not 3 days later go, you forgot that, because 3 days later it doesn't matter. Complete the transaction, sign it, and go away. And the last one is post-closing. Coordinate the move, assist with post-closing issues. Coordinate the move. Not much you're going to do there. I think the biggest thing with post-closing is the CSR, the customer service. You know, these people have somewhere in my files, there's a little ditty about you sit down at the closing table at 10 o'clock. These folks have been awake trying to pack up their lives and everything else all night. You know, most of the times they're throwing the last mattresses in the truck that morning. There's no pots or pans at their house. There's nothing. You have a mid-morning close. You know, what is it that you can give them during that day that would make a real big impact on them? It isn't flowers. It isn't a set of knives. It's a pizza. A pizza, a 6-pack, maybe Diet Coke. If the kids are with them, you know, keep those kids fed. Keep them out of mom and dad's hair. You know, people moving all day gets very, very hectic. If you come in and you're guiding them through that and say, you know what, I got a pizza coming. Even if you deliver it to the darn closing table, okay, they are going to be grateful for you. Of course, if they're lactose intolerant or gluten-free, you got to figure that stuff out. But, you know, feed them. Feed them. You're going to find on closing day, when you feed people, their hangry comes down, and they remember that you brought them something. Okay? I make sure that the last thing, actually, I don't bring them beer. I don't bring them beer until they're already moved in and they're settled, because the last thing you want to do is fuel somebody with alcohol if something goes wrong during the day. If you know something is going wrong during the day, make sure you're on top of it. Make sure you're keeping them fed. You know, you're making a big check at the end of that day. Get out your credit card and go take them to a restaurant. Get them out of the office. If the financing's not going through, move them out of the office. Don't have them sit there for 4 or 5 hours waiting for the financing to go through. How do I know that? Because 15 years ago I did it wrong the first time, and it's the last time I did it. Okay? Get them up, get them out, get them fed, bring them back happy and healthy, and no alcohol until they close. All right? Those are the 10 top. Oh, here's what this said. I do transformational coaching and skills training, makes mindsets and skills a breeze for real estate agents who are struggling to gain mastery in their skills and build confidence in their ability to make money in the business. If you need me, I'm here. I'm getting very busy, which is great for me. My door is usually open, but when it's not, I do have a Calendly. You can pick me up on any one of these Power Onward Mastermind sessions, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We're starting to build a pretty big content level in YouTube. You go into the playlists. You got some great interviews. If you're local, you probably know a lot of these people. There's a couple of people from outside. I've been on a few a few podcasts over the last couple of months, talking, talking about real estate and new agents and mid agents and even senior agents. We all need help at some time or another, and coaching is not a bad thing. Affordable coaching is a great thing. I do have, will the slides be on YouTube? Yeah, you can pick this up actually, Sarah. It's going to be rerun on Monday, but this will always live live on Facebook, and it'll be there. We do have a master class coming up. It's a 6-week run. It's called Disneyland, Building Your Fantasy. It's $197 for 6 weeks, and we're going to start you from. It's all about Walt Disney. Okay, Disney had a vision board, he had a mind map, and he grew this enormous business that we all know today from that mind map. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the mind map, and then each week build on that mind map as we go through, so that at the end of it, you're going to have a business that you're going to look at and go check mark, check mark, check mark as you build your business over the years. It's a great, it's a great program. It's going to be 6 weeks. Me teaching it once a week, not every day, mind you. Once a week. You're getting some homework. $197. Go to www.growyorincome.co. That's www.growyorincome.co. Nathan is going to put it up on the streamer. You'll see it in a minute. I think it's going to be a great course. It's going to be taught by me. You're going to get a lot out of it. You're also going to get the opportunity to go into PowerOnwardMastermind.com as one of our regular users. And that's usually $39 a month. It's going to be free for you. I think for the first 6 months, I'm going to give it away. And there's a lot of resources on there also. So check out that growyorincome.co, not com, just co. All right, any questions? I want to thank you all for being here. It's a great day. We're warming up a little bit. I think we're supposed to get up to 59 degrees today. The wisteria is out. If you've never seen wisteria, somebody go out there and take a picture because it's beautiful. It's hanging all over the place. It's giving me a nose blockage, but hey, good stuff. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Have a blessed weekend. Not much more I can say about that. Brings me to tears. All right. Have a good day. Any questions? Anybody? Where do we find the podcast? The podcast, I was on, Sarah, we'll put them in there. We'll put them in there. One of them was, there were 2 of them lately. CEO Secrets. CEO Secrets is one of them with Brian. And the other one was Sisu. We'll put them up in this chat. Okay? Anybody else? Can I clarify anything? Nathana, I think we have a PDF of these top 10s. And they're not original, folks. So you can find them. Have a great day.